Suppose I were to say to you that there are 9 separate but equal laws that govern not only your life, but they also apply to every person on earth, regardless of age, male or female, nationality, every minute of every day, forever and ever. You obey these 9 laws, whether you want to or not. If you just look around you, all the laws are there. You can watch them happening in your life and in the lives of those you know. And now that you realize these laws, you have the ability to use them as tools in your life. At the very least, they will give you a better understanding of what's going on around you. Law 1, the prime law. Practice makes perfect. This extends itself equally to assholes and angels. For verily, as he or she practices becoming an angel, so shall he or she succeed. So equally true is the reverse. And you have known people in your life who are such an asshole, they have been an asshole for so long and practiced so hard, they couldn't be anything else if they wanted to. You also know other people that are just really, really nice people. They're always doing nice things. You know why? Because every nice thing they do is practice. They practice doing it. It becomes muscle memory. You do nice things, you're a nice person. But it also applies to every single thing in your life. Everything. The way that you're sitting in your chair right now. You've sat this way, you've sat that way, you've sat that way. However you're sitting is the result of how many times you practiced to find exactly the way that's best for you. I tried this when I first realized that I tried it in my life. And I tried to think of something that I wanted to change in my life. And you do this, you should do this. Take a little thing, not a big thing. Take a little thing that you want to change in your life. With me, it was not saying please and thank you near enough. I just wasn't saying it when I should. And that bothered me. So I started practicing. Thank you, please, constantly. It became muscle memory. I can't not say it now. Another thing was physical. I was walking more slouched over when I was walking, and I really wanted to improve my posture. So I kept telling myself, stand up straight, stand up straight. This one took a few months, but eventually I was standing up straight. It allowed me to look people in the eye. And I'll tell you, I had a side benefit. It actually gave me a little bit more confidence. Not a lot, but a little bit. I was a little bit more confident. Standing up tall and seeing the world around me from a whole different perspective. You got to try that one. Law 2. The laws of physics apply to our persona and to the time and space we occupy. There's not much discussion there, it's just plain science. The laws of physics say you can't go through a wall, you can't time travel. They're axiomatic, and that's why they belong in these 9 laws. You always obey them. Law 3. With the passage of time, all things change. At times changing imperceptibly, and other times in catastrophic avalanche. But change, always, they will. One of the best examples of this law are in relationships. If you've ever had an experience where you were in a relationship and it was really, really good, and then all of a sudden, catastrophic avalanche, everything changed. We say all things change in relationships. You had a friend 10 years ago that you thought you were going to be best friends forever, but it's been 10 years since you saw him, and it's faded in your memory. Meanwhile, when this person goes down, you have other people coming into your life that replace them, So the law doesn't hurt. The only time you can get in trouble is when you think that things aren't going to change. They may change for the better. But change, always, they will. Because all things change. If you realize this, you can work on the things that you want to keep in your life and let the rest of the things slide away. Law 4, absolute power corrupts absolutely. Therefore, even the smallest power carries with it, at the very least, small ability to corrupt. Beware power. We're not talking about the big power of nations. We're talking about the small power that you have. And I've had a couple of people in my life say, Bill, I don't have any power. Believe me, I got no power. And I would say to them, walk down the hall or walk down the street, and the first person that you come to that's walking toward you, just bump into him and then keep walking. You have just ruined this person's day. You have done damage that you have no idea how far it extends. You just know it was really bad for them, and you were exhibiting your power. You got that power. You can be really shitty in a relationship today to someone that you really care for. That's using your power. You're now on the side of evil. Get back on the good side. Law 5. Law 5 is fun. Law 5 says, you are in fact different people. But at the same time, you're one person inside yourself. Your personalities are your tools. Now think about that. Now that you can see your personalities separately, you have one personality when you go to work. You have one personality when you go home. You have one personality when you go out, one with your friends. Everybody sees a different you than what you are inside. Now that you know that, you can tweak each personality. You can dress it the way that you think would be the best way to present that personality to the world. Change that vocabulary. Everything that you want to project to the world, change it. Make it better. It's fun. Law 6. There's a price to pay for everything you do in your life. With corresponding potentials for good and bad, the cost will vary. But it will always cost a minimum of one thing: time. You have to realize that. Time is the most precious commodity that you have in your life. It is finite. You only have this much time on earth, and you don't know how long that time is going to be. And it doesn't say that you can't lay on your back and look up at the stars. That's how you want to spend your time at that moment. That's great. It may be the best thing in the world for you. But it helps you appreciate looking up at the stars too, because you say, this is how I want to spend my time. Once you realize that, time becomes more precious. You think about it more, and you really appreciate your life. Law 7. Every endeavor in life requires the same 3 ingredients: tools, practice, magic. You got to have the tools that you need to do whatever it is you want to do. I don't care if you want to go to medical school. You better have a lot of money. That's one tool you're going to need. Until you've got the money, don't worry about medical school. You want to learn how to play the piano? I suggest you get a piano. If you don't have a piano, you're never going to learn. You don't have anything to practice on. Now, how long do you practice? That's the easiest thing of all. You don't have to worry about it. You practice and practice and practice until one day you're going to find yourself using the tool without consciously thinking about it. Automatically. It's become muscle memory. Then whatever talent you have will come out magically. Not necessarily that great. I remember I wanted to play the trumpet. I really wanted to play the trumpet. And I got a trumpet. And I practiced, and I practiced, and I practiced. And pretty soon, I was getting to where I had all the moves down. And the magic happened. And I got to tell you, it was like fingernails on a blackboard. The sound that I can make with a trumpet makes me sick. So whenever you get done practicing, the magic may not be that great. You might not have the talent for that particular thing. Great. Now you go off and find something that you do have the talent for. You don't waste any more time. And time is the most precious commodity you have, right? Law 8. No person reliably controls another. And we were talking about your control over people before. This law is important. Remember, what control you have over anybody is not necessarily reliable. It can change. People that you have in your life that are reliable today, 5 years from now, they're not so reliable. I know you've seen it happen. And Law 9 is the best law. This is the law that will save your ass every time. This is the law that if you give this to someone who is depressed and they understand this law, it will get them out of depression. In my life, 2 people in my life I have had encounters with that once they understood this law, they were in deep depression and they worked their way out of it. The last law says, regardless the outcome, in blindness to other people's judgment of good and bad, success and failure, it is the law that all you can do is the very best that you can. And why you should climb it in your shit when you fail to do your best. Also must you not despair in defeat, so long as you can say, I did my best. When we say no matter the outcome, whatever you're doing, doesn't make any difference how it ends. You don't pay any attention to other people's, their subjective judgments of what you're doing is good, what you're doing is bad, whether you're a success or a failure. It's the law that all you can do is the very best that you can. Now, when we say climb it in your shit when you fail to do your best, we don't mean drive yourself into despair if you find yourself not doing your best. Myself, I just think about what I'm doing, not my best, and give myself a little mental slap in the head. And I do that a lot until I quit doing it. Just do your best, and everything will work out. Thank you. Please make a comment. I'd like to see comments down in the comment section so that we can get a dialogue going with people who can talk about the things that they've had happen in their life where the laws have applied. Bye-bye.